The Supernaturals, Black People and Ghosts. Episode 2, The Ones Who Never Got Off. The stories you're about to hear are works of fiction inspired by history, folklore, and the unexplained. While real historical events inspired the setting and atmosphere, every character and supernatural event in this story is fictional. Drawn by her relentless curiosity for the truth, Maya returned for answers, because sometimes the past isn't behind us. This is the last stop. Fear had done its job. It had whispered to Maya all day, "Don't go back, take another route, pretend none of this happened." But curiosity was louder. Questions had built her career before she'd even earned it. She wasn't the type to walk away from a mystery, especially one that seemed determined to find her. At exactly 8:39 that evening, she stood beneath the same bus shelter. The street was unusually quiet. No music drifted from nearby shops. No conversations echoed down the sidewalk. Even the wind seemed to avoid the corner. Her phone buzzed. 8:41 p.m. The screen flickered once, then went black. Not dead, just black. A low electric hum emerged from the fog. Route 285 rolled toward the curb. The headlights cut through the mist like pale eyes. The destination sign flickered. 285. East Line. For less than a heartbeat, the words disappeared. One sentence replaced them. Some stops never end. Then it was gone. The door sighed open. The driver didn't greet her. He stared straight ahead. His knuckles were white around the steering wheel. As Maya stepped aboard, he quietly muttered, "You still have time." She stopped. "What?" He swallowed. "To get off." Before she could answer, the doors closed behind her. The first seat was occupied. The elderly woman sat exactly where she always had. Gray overcoat, white gloves, brown leather purse folds neatly in her lap. She looked out the window without turning. "I wondered if your questions would bring you back." "They always do." The woman smiled faintly. "Questions are stubborn things." Maya sat beside her. "I've searched the archives." "I know." "There are missing reports." "I know." "Entire pages have been erased." "I know." Maya turned. "How do you always know?" The woman looked at her for the first time. "Because forgetting takes work." The bus rolled away. Only 6 other passengers remained. A tired nurse, an older man reading yesterday's newspaper, a teenager wearing oversized headphones, a young mother carrying shopping bags, and beside her, a little girl, maybe 7 years old, bright yellow rain boots, 2 braids, a stuffed rabbit tucked beneath her arm. The girl looked toward the front, then smiled. She lifted her tiny hand and waved. The elderly woman waved back. Maya felt her heartbeat stumble. The girl's mother never looked up. The little girl whispered, "Good evening." The elderly woman nodded politely. "Good evening." Maya stared at him. "You can hear her?" The little girl frowned. "Of course." "Who are you talking to?" her mother asked. "The lady." "What lady?" "The nice lady." Her mother looked directly at Maya. "I'm sorry. She talks to imaginary people." The little girl shook her head. "She's real." The mother sighed. "Honey, no one is sitting there." The little girl looked confused. She leaned closer to Maya. "Why can't grown-ups see anymore?" Maya didn't know how to answer. The elderly woman quietly said, "Some stopped looking." The lights dimmed, not enough to alarm anyone, just enough for every shadow inside the bus to stretch a little farther. The little girl suddenly pointed toward the rear. "Oh, they're back." Maya turned. Nothing, only empty seats. "What do you see?" The little girl counted softly. 1, 2, 3. She kept pointing farther down the aisle. 8, 9, 10. The bus was nearly empty, yet she kept counting. 23. Maya looked again. Nothing. The girl frowned. "They're sitting so quietly tonight." The bus rounded a corner. The city disappeared, not instantly, slowly, like wet paint washing away. Glass buildings became brick storefronts. Digital billboards faded into painted signs. Modern traffic dissolved into older automobiles. Smoke drifted across the streets. People hurried through it. Some marched together. Some shouted. Some linked arms. Others ran carrying children. Sirens echoed somewhere beyond the haze. A church bell rang. Glass shattered. Farther away, flames climbed the side of a building. Not everywhere, just enough to stain the night sky orange. Police whistles pierced the air. Voices rose together, not in panic, not in celebration. Something deeper, the sound of people refusing to disappear. Maya pressed against the window. This can't be real. The elderly woman never looked outside. It was. The words were barely louder than a whisper. The little girl stopped smiling. They're scared. Who? The people outside. She pressed her palm against the glass. They don't know who's coming. The bus slowed. There wasn't a stop, only an old street corner swallowed by smoke. The doors opened. Nothing waited outside, only darkness, not ordinary darkness. This darkness moved. It curled across the pavement like thick black fog. Then footsteps, heavy, measured, one pair, then another, then another. Someone climbed aboard. No one was visible. Yet the bus lowered slightly beneath invisible weight. Seat cushions compressed, the overhead handrails swayed. The nurse looked around. Did somebody just get on? The teenager removed one earbud. I heard it. The older man folded his newspaper. I don't see anyone. The little girl's eyes filled with fear. They found us. Shapes slowly emerged, not faces, silhouettes, tall figures wearing old-fashioned uniforms. Their features remained hidden beneath impossible shadows. Their badges reflected no light. They walked with the certainty of people who believed they owned every room they entered. The air turned cold. The elderly woman slowly stood. She didn't step backward. She didn't run. She simply faced them. One silhouette spoke. Its voice sounded old, like a recording played too many times. You've delayed this route long enough. The woman remained silent. Another silhouette stepped forward. You know where you belong. Still, she didn't answer. The bus groaned. Metal twisted. Every window trembled. The little girl buried her face against Maya's arm. They always say that. Maya tried to stand. Her legs wouldn't move. It felt as though invisible hands held her in place. The lead silhouette lifted one gloved hand. Move. The single word echoed through the bus. Not shouted, remembered. The elderly woman calmly shook her head. No. Silence. Then everything changed. The transparent outlines Maya hadn't noticed before slowly appeared. Every empty seat became occupied. An elderly man removing his hat, a mother rocking an invisible child, a student clutching books, a factory worker holding a lunch pail, a soldier staring through the window, a preacher with folded hands, a little boy swinging his feet. Dozens, then dozens more. The bus wasn't filling. It had always been full. The spirits had simply decided to be seen. Every one of them watched the confrontation. None spoke, none moved. The silhouettes turned toward them for the first time. They hesitated. The elderly woman quietly whispered, "They remember." The spirits began standing, one after another, not quickly, not angrily, together, like people answering an invitation. The bus floor creaked beneath their weight. The silhouettes took one step backward, then another. The darkness behind them deepened. It spread down the aisle like ink. One silhouette suddenly lunged. Its hand seized the woman's shoulder. Maya screamed. The little girl grabbed Maya's wrist. Don't! The elderly woman looked directly into Maya's eyes. There was no fear, only urgency. Remember what you see, not what you're told. The darkness swallowed them. The struggle wasn't loud. No punches, no shouting, only dragging footsteps, the scrape of leather, the rattle of old windows, then silence. The shadows disappeared into the rear of the bus. The elderly woman was gone. One white glove drifted slowly onto the aisle. The little girl began crying. She was keeping them back. Who? The child looked toward the rear. The ones who don't know the ride is over. The lights returned. The city outside snapped back to the present. Traffic flowed normally. Glass towers stood where smoke had been moments before. The driver blinked in confusion. Power surged. The nurse checked her phone. The teenager laughed at a video. The older man reopened his newspaper. No one remembered, except Maya, except the little girl. The glove still rested on the floor. Maya bent to pick it up. It was warm, as if someone had been wearing it only seconds earlier. The little girl stared toward the back of the bus. Her face turned pale. What? Maya whispered. The child never looked away. They're all standing now? Maya slowly turned. Every transparent passenger, every silent figure, every forgotten traveler had risen from their seats. Dozens of motionless faces looked directly at her, not angry, not smiling, waiting. The bus hissed to a stop. The doors opened. The driver called out, "Last stop." Maya stumbled onto the sidewalk, clutching the white glove. She turned to help the little girl, but the bus was empty. No child, no mother, no passengers, no driver, only rows of vacant seats. The doors closed by themselves. Route 285 pulled away without a soul inside. As its taillights disappeared into the fog, Maya's phone came back to life. One new message. Unknown sender. No number. No image. Only 6 words. You're seeing what others forgot to remember.